Oh, I was already talking. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Okay, okay.
Can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yes, we
Oh,
can.
hello, hi everyone. My name is Usman Akiemi. I'm a student of Blackshire University. I'm also a Microsoft Learn Ambassador. So today we'll be talking about introduction to data visualization, and we have our honorary speaker here. His name is Adewale Yusuf. He's a Microsoft certified trainer, team lead is a team lead at Business Intelligence Analyst at the Brown Consulting. I think I got it right. So he's well versed in data visualization and all these, like, data analysis and data science. So I welcome our guest, and I welcome everyone.
Okay.
Sir Sir Adewale, will you? I'm giving it to talk.
Hey, good afternoon. I hope you
Good
can hear me
afternoon,
clearly.
sir. Yeah, we can.
Yeah. So, is this session being recorded?
No.
Yes, it's
Oh,
being
okay,
recorded
okay.
here.
You have okay.
Because the number of people we have in the chat now are not really much. But so if you really recorded, you can give access of that recording to others that are not here. Uh, Let me share my screen. When you can see my screen, please let me know.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, again. My name is Adewale, so they've introduced me
Good
already,
afternoon.
so I don't need
Good
to
afternoon.
do new introduction again. So that is me. I'm an MVP and also MCT. I've been doing
Wow.
this for past some years now, and I lead a team of 21 analysts and trainers at the
Wow.
Brown Consult. So I'll be going straight directly into the session, and I would like us to interact a lot in the chat. And if you have any question, always drop it a lot in the chat. So when it comes to data visualization, it is that aspect that a lot of people get it wrong, because people always believe that visualization is just probably something similar to graphic design, right? And it's not. So one of the idea of visualization is to tell a story. So one thing you should understand that you are doing is you are telling a story. You are not just presenting, right? Your presentation must be able to kind of tell a story. Because when it comes to data analysis or business intelligence, data and information is the most strategic business asset. And if data and information is strategic business asset, how do you kind of tell this story for people to understand? How do you tell this story for people to kind of see that you are telling an appropriate story? So, for example, if I go to Google right now and I type probably a good PowerPoint presentation, you'll notice that I will see different design influenced by uh, different people. And this is not because somebody just say, okay, so let me do this design. This is probably because the inspiration that the person that is building this slide as at that time, this is the inspiration that the person has, right? And the person just decided to just, let me just design something, right? And if you look at this dashboard that I'm showing up here as well, this is a dashboard created by a company called Stack Industry. I got this from Google. So I'm sure when you see um, this dashboard, right, and you see this one, the one I'm showing now, and probably this one. Can somebody type in the chat? What do you think is the difference of those three? So the three dashboard that I show you now, I show you this guy, and this guy. Do you think there's any similarity in between these three? Do you think there's any similarity? Yeah, probably looking at it from a scenario, we can say, okay, maybe one person used pie chart, the other person also used this guy also used like a pie chart somewhere, but the colors are not the same and the structure of the dashboard are not the same. This person have like two cards here. This one does not even have card at all. This one just have like five card lay here at the top. So what this is telling you is that people create dashboard and visualization based on their inspiration. They just follow a standard. And when it comes to business communication, visualization, there should be a standard, even within an organization, or even within before you create a dashboard. Don't just go ahead and just match up different colors together. And one of the things I usually see online is I go to Google now and I type dashboard in Power BI. You will see a lot of different dashboard inspiration by different people. In fact, you will see some people that will jump out like almost 6 or 7 colors together just to be the dashboard. Those are 7 colors, just match up different colors and all that, right? Well, I will advise, one of the tips I'm going to give you first is that when you are building a dashboard, make sure you don't use more than 3 colors at least. And those colors must actually match each other. It's not just very hot color, right? But there are some school of thought that have come together and they were like, for business communications and visualization, there should be like a standard. There should be a semantic notation. So what semantic notation simply means is that what look the same, what mean the same, should look the same. What mean the same should look the same. So if we are all building visualizations, we're all building reports, right? These reports and visualizations should kind of look the same. Or they should be similar, even if they don't really look the same. They should look a little bit the same because we are also talking about visualization. Well, business communication reverses the case. A lot of us have designed based on our inspiration. But let's look at some other disciplines that has a very good semantic notation. For example, this thing that I'm showing on my screen, what is it called? Who can tell me in the chat? What is this called? What is this called? Just type in the chat. What do you think this is called? What do you think it's called? Notes? No, it's not music note. Yeah, so we call it sheet music. So it is regarded as sheet music. Sheet music, that is what it's called. Now, sheet music is something that whoever can write music can write. No matter where you are staying, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're abroad, whether you're in Canada, anywhere you are, as long as you understand how to write sheet music, then you'll be able to write it. Right? Now, when you now write the sheet music, anybody in the world can read it, as long as that person is a musician or somebody that understands how to read music. For me now, if you ask me to read this, I cannot definitely read this. I can definitely not read this, right? But for the people that understand it, they can read it. And this is a one-way communication. It doesn't mean that the person that created this is black or the other one is white. This person is from Ghana. This person is from Nigeria. So this is a semantic notation that is the same all over the world, right? It's a one-way communication. And if you go to Google and you type sheet music, you notice that the design of the sheet music you will see will be the same throughout all over the world. The design will be the same. It's not as if somebody is creating a very coloring and another person is creating something very somehow, right? Now let's look at this road sign. You know, for any driver, whether you're in Nigeria, UK, US, anywhere, you should understand that when you see red, you should stop. When you see amber color, what should you do? When you see the yellow color, what should you do? You should get ready. Whether get ready to stop or get ready to go, right? And when you see green, that means you should go. That means you should go, right? So this is also one-way communication. No matter where you are driving, it's unique. And this same approach should be applied to visualization. Because what it means is that anytime I'm looking at your dashboard and I can see green somewhere in the dashboard and I know something is good, while we are doing well. Anytime I'm seeing red, like a negative, I know something is off, right? The standard of this roadside are road safeties, right? They are the one that kind of send this. And every driver on the road must kind of make sure they take note of this. And this is a one-way communication that is very easy. I'm sure if you go to Google and also type road signs, you see that the designs are all the same all over the world. Now, moving on to construction industry, it's still the same. Even if you decide to go to the US to go and draw your building plan, somebody can still implement it here in Nigeria. But for business, it's a lot of problem. When it comes to business communication, business visualization, a lot of people just do stuff the way they like. Now, let's look at this visual, for example. These are 6 different visualizations designed by different people. Which one do you think is your best? Let's tag this as probably this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So which one do you think is your best? Type in chat. Which of these do you think you like the most? Okay, 3 from Usman. Okay, great. Interesting. Now, remember, I said something about standard notations. Okay, 6 from Mubarak. I said something about standard notation. And what I said there is that things that mean the same should look the same. Right? Things that means the same should look the same. Actually, right now, all of them are talking about balance sheets. But the idea of them putting it into a visual is different. In fact, number 4 and 5, somebody even do visualization like they are playing game. That look like a game, right? So things that mean the same should look the same. So this doesn't really look the same, and it's kind of very messy right now. I could not really pick whether it's number 3 or number 6 or number 1 or number 2 that I should pick. Just depend on inspiration of people, right? Now, some school of thought has now came together, and they were like, there are some topics you need to standardize when you are doing visualization. When you want to talk about actual, this school of thought was like, the school of thought we thought IBCS, International Business Communication Standard. You can research them online. Go and look for them. IBCS, International Business Communication Standard. So that school of thought just came together, and they were like, when you are doing visualization, the best thing to do, one of the best things to do in visualization is when you want to show actual, you should use black, like this, like what I'm showing on my screen. When you want to show prior year, which is previous year or last year, should use a little lighter shade of that, which is like probably an ash color, so that you can kind of show that this is prior year, right? That's one. And they also like when you're talking about outline, which is plan or power or budget, you should use an outline color, which seems like you are filling up the box, right? And when you're talking about forecast, you should use this particular color. So when it comes to test and line, to them, they believe that when you are building a visualization, now I'm giving you some standard you need to kind of take note of when building a visualization. So when you are building, when you are talking about test and line in your dashboard, you should have this kind of black color. So colors and patterns are strong design medium. So don't misuse them for probably a decorative purpose. So a lot of people just use color for decorative purpose. No, a color inside your dashboard should be able to tell a story. That color should be able to showcase. So this is what I mean. So when you're using test and line, the opinion that you should use like black. Now, I talked about actual the other time. A lot of people like to use color the way they like. Remember, what's look the same should also mean the same and visualize in the same manner. So these two visuals are talking about the same thing. So if you are to pick between this 1 and 2, which one will you pick? Type in chat. Which one will you pick? 1 or 2? Great. So Usman was like, he's going to pick Bana. Mubarak is going to pick 2. Great, right? 2 is actually the standard. But number 1 is colorful, but it does not really make sense. And that's because there's a lot of color here. You should not just use color. The color should be able to tell a story. Any reason why you're using a color should be able to tell a story. Let's assume that this second one now, I'm using this black color, and I'll give a color to this 76, which is the highest. Maybe I put this blue color here now in this 76. That is a meaning. So that is me highlighting the highest value. So color should not just be dumped inside your dashboard. Kind of always make sure that you reduce the amount of colors you use in your dashboard to be able to tell more stories when it comes to visualization. And that is it when it comes to actual. Now, when it comes to prior year, it always makes sense to use a lighter shade of the black. So that way, you know, okay, I'm talking about prior year, just like an example of what you can see here. So just a lighter shade of that to just to reflect that, okay, so this is the standard, I'm doing this. And forecast also. So when you're talking about forecast, you have a standard color. So you may necessarily not use the exact color that I'm showing you on my screen, but the idea of this is that you should have a standard color. when building your visualization. Don't just be picking color anyhow you like. You can say for your own actual, which we agree should be black, you can say your own actual should be dark blue. And then your prior year should be a lighter shade of the dark blue. Then your forecast should be the dark blue, very light dark blue, and a stripe. Right? So that way, you've created a standardization for your report. And when you're building your report, it's kind of very easy and very easy to read. So same thing for plan, right? And you can see that plan is something that is easy to visualize, because if you look at this visualization right now, you will see that I have black here is actual, and the outline is at the back is budget. So technically, this is showing me now that I did not meet my budget. And here it shows that I did above my budget and also did above my budget here. So this is the standardizations that we should all look out for. And when you are showing good or bad, that's another thing. Good should be green. Anytime I saw there's a green inside your dashboard, that means something is good. You're making money. Something is very effective. And anytime there's red, that means something is bad. Something is wrong. You should not just leave that dashboard like that, right? And you can use a neutral color to highlight. So you can either use blue, purple, maybe brand color, or any type of colors you want. You can use that to highlight. But don't just push and dump different colors inside your dashboard. That's not a good thing to do, right? Now, this is all the colors I've mentioned, and this is an example of a visualization. So another thing you should do when you are doing a visualization is this. Anytime you are visualizing time, what I mean by time is, anytime you are talking about probably a date, you want to do a report of maybe revenue by month, revenue by quarter, revenue by year, revenue by day. Anytime you are doing a trend report, a time report, it is always advisable to have your categories on this axis, on x-axis, like this, x-axis. So when you have it on the x-axis, your chart can now either be a column chart or a line chart. So it can either be a column chart or a line chart, a column chart or a line chart. Now, anytime you are visualizing any category that is not a trend, that is not time related, probably a category related to product, for example. I'm using an example of product, state, country, and all that. It should be, your category should be in your y-axis. You can see the difference between this guy and this guy. This guy is in the horizontal axis, and this guy is in the vertical axis. So this is how a well-structured category should look like. Probably because Berlin, Paris, and New York, because they are just country, you now put them at horizontal axis. So don't do that. So it should always be like that. That's another rule in visualizations, to be able to design an effective visualization. Now I want you to type in charts. Based on what I've explained to you guys, I have 4 interesting people on the screen now. I have a lady, a guy, another lady, and another guy. Now, number 1 has been attached to 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So I want you to type in chat. Number 1 is what? What color is number 1 talking about? I've mentioned this lighter color should be used for something. So I want to know if you are following. Number 1 is what? Is what color? The past. Thank you, Mubarak. So that's previous year, last year. Yeah, that means you are showing. That means you are really following. Interesting. Now, number 2 should be what? Let's type it out. The present. Thank you. The present. And that means actual, right? That means actual. The number 3 should be what? Forecast. Yes, forecast. You're right. Yeah, forecast. So forecast is what, number 3. And number 4 is what? It's number 4. Anyone want to try? Okay, so number 4 is budget or plan, right? I mentioned that here, but I can go back a step, a little bit step backward. So number 4 is budget or plan. Budget or plan, which is right here. Budget or plan. That's number 4. So now, technically, what you should also do, right, when it comes to visualization, there are some standards that was advised that you should use when it comes to visualization, and it's called a success formula. So which S of the success means convey a message. So when you are doing your visualization, you should convey a perfect message. What that means is that you should have a chart. Your chart should have an appropriate description. Describe the chart very well. Convey a message. Let people see that you're trying to tell a story. That's the rule number 1 when it comes to visualization, right? You should follow a success story. Now, U means apply semantic notation, which is the one that I just showed you now. Apply a semantic notation. Apply semantic notation. Apply semantic notation. That's number 2. Now, number 3 is condense. I'm explaining success story to you now. Condense simply means increase information density. So what that means is that when you are talking about probably a state, for example, you now mention only 3 states. Don't do that. Just show all of the states. Let's show all of the states. The information should be accurate, and the quality of the information should be great, right? That's what condense means. And we have check, ensure visual integrity. Make sure you have integrity with your visual. We have express, which is choose a proper visualization. So when you're talking about trend, use a line chart. When you're talking about part 2O, you can use a pie chart. You can use a bar chart for categories and other charts. So there's a lot of visualization when it comes to that. We'll get there. Then simplify your visualization. Simplify your visualization. Don't just add a lot of things inside the visualization so to make it very cluttered. So avoid clutter. Now, the last one is structure. So organize your content. So I've mentioned something about say to convey a message. So you should put a message first. An example of that is me describing my visualization. Look at it here. So I described the sales decreased by 80%. I did not just just put the visual there. So I kind of use a message to make this visualization interesting. Another thing I can do is the structure, which is organize your content. Don't just scramble your content together. You have to organize them. And when you organize it, then there should be consistency, and it should be exclusive and exhaustive, right? So then you should visualize structure. So what that means is that, look at this guy. So here, I'm only showing 3 countries, which I know I have some other ones. So it makes sense to kind of show them rather than just minimize my results. Now, the other one is express. Choose a proper visualization. Choose a proper visualization. Choose a proper visualization. What that means is there are chart tables, right? When you need to use table is when you're trying to show an exact number. That's when you use table. Then when you're not trying to show an exact number, that's when you use chart. And always add a comparison. Any visualization without comparison, is not really a good visualization. The other one is simplify. So avoid clutter, no decoration really. Don't do any decoration, just avoid the clutter. You see this one and this one now. This look very straightforward and very neat compared to this one, right? So avoid clutter, no redundancy, right? You don't need to repeat things. Then let your visual be very, very easy and decorative. Now look at this now. This visual here, division, 27. We're all talking about the same thing. So this is better than this one. So to the right? So simplify and no distraction details. Avoid that. Then condense, add more data, add elements and all that. I think I've mentioned that before. Then ensure your visual integrity. Don't just truncate the axis. Here, this 100 is looking like it's similar to 30 and 20, right? But here you will see that there's a huge difference. So it's not truncated. So don't truncate your axis. Let your visual show the way it is. Don't truncate the axis so that your visualization can kind of look better, right? And then unify. I've mentioned that apply semantic notation, apply colors, make use of icons to make your dashboard look better. That's also another way, right? Now, looking at this diagram created by Dr. Andrew Abela, that should help you pick the right visualization of your choice. So this particular table, it's saying that when you want to talk about comparison, when you want to do comparison, these are the visuals that you should use. You should use a variable width column chart, table or table with embedded chart, bar chart, column chart, circular chart, line chart, column chart, and then also line chart. So this kind of explain it well. Right? And when you're talking about distribution, you want to show distribution. These are the charts that is best to use for distribution. Column histogram, line histogram, scatter chart, and 3D area chart. When you want to show composition, right? If you want to show a static data in composition, then it should be under pie charts, waterfall charts, then stack 100% column chart with sub component. When you want to show any compositions that will change over time, right? It is advisable that, sorry, I think I'm already in the next slides. Let me use this. Okay. Go back a bit. Now, when you are talking about relationship, you should use these two charts. So this chart by Dr. Adriabella, you can check it on Google and research about this guy. You will see the different chart that you should use for each of the visualization. So I can show you some dashboard samples that I've built in the past. I built a one dashboard for a COVID-19 dashboard for TBC News, and then some other dashboard I've built, a sample dashboard I've built for some interesting organization. So let me show you some sample dashboard so you can see the color and the design when it comes to color and design. All right, so you can see that this visual is very interactive. There's no much color here, and color green and color red in this dashboard is telling a story, telling you red simply means something happened, people are dead. Green means people have recovered, and you can see that the most color that was used here to standardize most of the actual is color blue, right? So this blue is used to standardize the actual, so you can see the actual, and you can see how the dashboard is moving and all that. And so this is like a standard dashboard normally. So you should not make a dashboard very cluttered or build a dashboard that doesn't make sense. So you should always follow some standard and use color for using sake, right? You can see all the colors that was used here as a meaning. This is actual, this is dead, this is recover, and this is actual cases. And you can see that this dashboard is very effective. So I'm just showing you a sample of the of a dashboard. So moving on, I'm going to move on to show you another sample. Now, this is another dashboard I also built for my tweet analysis. I use Power BI. So how many of us have used Power BI before? Type in chat if you've used Power BI before here to build maybe visualizations or chart. So this was built by Power BI. It also kind of use some effective way of building visualization, which means you should not clutter your dashboard too much. You should not have a lot of clutters on your dashboard. Your dashboard should kind of tell a story. There should be a meaning to every single report you are building. There should be a meaning to every report you are building, not just build the dashboard for building sake. So moving on, this is also another sample of a dashboard. This was built based on the IBCS standard I introduced you guys to. So this one has a lot of all the charts that are related to international business communication standard, which means black is actual, and the light gray is prior year, and the red and green is good or bad. So that's another way you can look at it. So let me just give you like a minute to look at this dashboard. Okay, so that's some example of some great dashboard that you should have there. So what I mean is you have to create an amazing dashboard, an amazing visualization. So you don't just squander your visualizations together. So due to our time, I think I can still show you some more examples, and then probably, yeah. So this is also a dashboard that shows the Google location history for analysis. So it's just showing my different locations across different places, right? So I can just put a date and it tell me where I was on that date, and then different things like that. So I can easily quickly show you a short demo. We're just going to build one or two visualization, then we're going to stop from there to take your questions. So I'm going to use Power BI for this example that I want to show. Okay, so I'm trying to open Power BI. Once it's open, I'll just show you one, and this build one visuals in Power BI, so you see how it's being done. Right, so this is Power BI interface. I already have a data inside this dashboard, so I can just build one or two reports so you can see how visualization is being done. So let me go to a new page. Okay, so my data is loading. Let's just give it some seconds. Right, great. So the data is successfully loaded. Let me just go ahead and start creating something. So let me open a new page. So from here, these are different visualization here in Power BI. So for those that are familiar with Power BI, these are different visualization here. So from here, I can come here and select a stack bar chart here, and I'm going to pick probably one thing I want to visualize here. So remember, I said I want to visualize if I want to visualize a call center by something. So let me pick probably standard deviation, or let me pick total score. So here now you can see my visualization. So one of the things I mentioned when I was explaining is that you should never use a category. You should never use this kind of bar chart for a category, right? So when you have a category like this, tell me one problem you see with this category. Can we type in chat? What problem did you see now by putting my category inside an horizontal bar chart? So what problem did you see right now? Anyone? Anyone? Let's make it interactive. Just type in chat. What problem do you see right now? Yeah, thank you, Isman. So the tests were not easy to read, right? And they were slanted somehow. But immediately you use this one, so it kind of make it easier, and it even sorts the chart better. So you can even see anyone and read everything. You can read everything. So that way it's kind of easy, and then you can easily kind of interact with the chat. So one thing I'm going to do is this title does not make sense. So I'll go here, just do a little bit of cleanup to this. So I will switch up the title label since I already know what it is. I will also come here and switch off this x-axis. I'll switch off the entire x-axis. And then one thing I'm going to do is to put on the data label. And I will edit the data label in such a way that I'll put it inside hand. That's the position. So just to make it very interesting, right? Then the bars itself, probably I should use, I should pick a color of my design. I can either use probably this black, or I should use deep blue, anything I want, right? Just to make sure that my visual is well effective and well structured. Then I can put like probably I'm just creating this here, right? And I can probably duplicate this guy. Since I've already done the design before, I will just duplicate it here. I don't need to redo the design. In fact, the total score is still showing that here. So let me switch it off from our x-axis. And here, I will also switch this off from the x-axis. And I'll change the number here from total scores to standard deviation. So I want to see the report by standard deviation. The report by standard deviation, right? So this kind of makes sense, right? So this is how you should kind of think of how to structure your visualization. Don't just use different colors. Don't bombard the visualizations with a lot of colors, a lot of text. Always have a good structures to show. So this is where I'm going to stop. If you have any question, I'm going to take your questions right now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adewale Yusuf, for this wonderful session. I think we are going to accommodate just two questions. Then we are going to, there will be a kind of an introduction of Cloud Skill Challenge, whereby if you participate in this Cloud Skill Challenge, you are going to get a free LinkedIn Premium voucher. So, and whoever that is active, the most active in this Microsoft meeting, is going to get the swag. So let's go back to the chat box. We are going to see that I posted something there. If you can repost it on your social media handles, we are going to be able to track it. You post it on LinkedIn, on your Twitter. So we are going to track it. Then you are going to get your swags.
Again, Fred, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Yusuf, you really thank you very much for all this. It's really enlightening. But I have a question. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
My question is for someone that wants to like get into data, data visualization, data analysis, and all this stuff. So because I understand that probably we have like different kind of tools for like visualization, like the Power BI that you just showed us. Like some people even use Python, and some people use R or something like or Tableau, all those kind of tools and stuff. So is there like what is the best tools that you're going to like recommend, or like is there a way to like learn, for someone that is just interested in becoming a data analyst or data science? And I don't know if there is a difference between data analyst and data science, because I heard like people saying those two things, and I think there might be some difference. I don't know. So like if you can help us like, and like for a beginner who is going to like start out, so that people can actually know like what's the difference between both of them, like you get thank you very much.
Okay, so I think I got like 3 questions from your response. The first question I got is, what are the tools for visualization? Then
Yeah.
the second question is, which of them is the best? And the third
Yeah.
question is the difference between data analyst and data scientist. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I'll probably see like for someone that is going to get started in data in all this data stuff. So like what would be like your advice for such person?
Okay, so 4 questions. Let me start answering it one by one. So the first questions, there are different type of tools you can use for data visualization. In fact, even Excel, you can use Excel for visualization. You can use Power BI, you can use Tableau, you can use Q-Links, you can use Python, R,
Mhm.
and different things, right? One thing is you should
Mhm.
just kind of know the what you need to excel on whatever you are doing. So answering
Mhm.
your fourth questions, that will say based on the Gartner's report, right, Power BI is kind of leading when it comes to visualization too. It's one of the
Mhm.
best. In fact, Microsoft just launched another one. They call it Microsoft Fabrics, right? But if I'm going to
Mhm.
advise, I would say if you want to really excel as a data analyst, not data scientist now, talking about data analyst, so you should
Mhm.
kind of learn more of, let's say, Excel and Power BI first. If you can know Excel and Power BI to some extent, I think that should kind of help a lot in your data career. Now, for the difference between data analyst and then data scientists, well, data analysts are analysts that analyze historical data. So they
Mhm.
analyze historical data. So the difference between them and data scientists, so data scientists are a little bit of the people that do more research on data. So they test more, they do more of AI with research. You know, I can give an example to say, uh, if you go to an hospital, right, and somebody tested you and
Mhm.
they just test you. So what the person is doing is analyzing you, right?
Mhm.
After the person has analyzed you, another person can now take that result and now find what is the cause of that result. Probably somebody have HIV. So
Mhm.
somebody was now using AI to find out why the person have HIV. That's the work of the data scientist. So the data scientist kind of use a little more machine learning to the doom of machine learning. That's just the difference between them and the data
Mhm.
analyst. But you can be both. So you can
Mhm.
do analysis and still use like AI to test whether the result of whatever result that a data analyst give you is true, right?
Mhm.
That's just the
Yeah.
difference.
Thank you. Okay, okay, yeah, I think I got it. Thank you very much for answering. Is there any other question that we can?
I suggest that we take the other question from a lady so that we can be gender equal.
I guess there is no other question.
Okay. Since we don't have another question now, so I share the link with us on the in the chat box. We are going to see a cloud skill challenge. We are expected to participate. We are going to cloud skill challenge is going to start probably in next week, but we can just wait before we. You can click on the link, then you share on your LinkedIn, you share on your Twitter. So by that, you are going to get a premium voucher. If you are the leaderboard, you get a premium voucher from LinkedIn premium voucher from Microsoft. And this cloud skill challenge, you are going to learn about the DP900, and learning this DP900 is going to prepare your data journey, whereby you're going to understand the relational database in Microsoft Azure. And on relational database, you are going to learn that. And fantastic, you are going to learn so many things in DP900. And this DP900 is going to explain the core data concept, the considerations for relational data on Azure, and consideration for working with in Azure, and so many things you are going to learn. So you're going to learn so many things. So you are going to learn so many things from this Microsoft DP900. So is there any question concerning that?
Yeah, I think someone asked for the requirements to join the challenge.
Sorry, please, can you hear me? The requirement to join the Microsoft Cloud Skill Challenge is you are going to have Microsoft Learn. You are going to create a Microsoft Learn profile. So creating a Microsoft Learn profile will give you the opportunity to participate in that Cloud Skill Challenge. And once you are the leaderboard, you are going to get a LinkedIn Premium voucher, and you're going to enjoy the learning path. So to write my LinkedIn, so you can ask any question. You can, if you are also interested in joining a Microsoft community. So I'm going to drop the meeting, our community link, the WhatsApp link, so that you can join the community, our community and the Microsoft Learn student community at University of Ibadan. Sorry, please give me a second while I share the link. Sorry, please, can we see the link in the chat box? The link to the Microsoft community?
Not yet. If it is the WhatsApp, okay. Not
Okay,
yet.
now, so someone asked that, is it open for everyone?
You have seen
Yes,
it.
yes. It's open for everyone. Either you're a beginner, either you are intermediate or master level, please participate in the Microsoft Cloud Skill Challenge. Also, we are going to be introducing one of our Microsoft community who is an Azure data scientist to come and speak to us. That is Mubarak Tijani. So Mubarak Tijani is one of our Microsoft community member. Is going to be explaining and give us some workshop explanation on Microsoft Azure. So he's a certified Microsoft Azure data scientist. So sorry, is there any question?
I don't think there is any.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Mr. Yusuf, the boots Yusuf. Thank you, sir. It's really like enlightening. Thank you very much, sir. So I think we can end it right now, right?
Yeah, since there is no question, we can. So let's prepare for the next. By Saturday, next coming Saturday, we are going to be introducing Mr. Mubarak. We're going to be inviting him come and speak. So thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.